Lord of the Flies starts out with the plane crashing on the island filled with kids. And two boys named Ralph and Piggy discover a conch shell on the island, which Piggy tells Ralph how to use. Once Ralph blows into the conch shell, boys start spawning out of the island out of nowhere. What looks like to be another leader named Jack loses to Ralph in a vote for power on the island. Ralph claims in want of a fire. When a boat passes later on, Ralph discovers that the signal fire is out. The hunters left the fire for pig hunting, which leaves Ralph disgusted. Ralph then calls a meeting with the conch, and the little boys claim to be distracted by a monster that the older boys try to make them believe that there's no such thing of. The place above the island goes unnoticed, and a soldier floats down to the island. The twins, Sam and Eric, sleeping on the job, wake up to find the soldier dangling down and claim it's the big bad beast. Jack then decides to send people to look for the beast. Jack and Ralph find the soldier and head back to the camp with news. Jack and Ralph part ways, and Ralph decides to create a new fire. Jack's clique beheads a pig as an offering to the beast. Simon starts to hallucinate to the pig's head. Later on, heading back to the beach with Simon, Simon is jumped by the rest of the boys and killed. The next morning, Ralph and Piggy discuss what has been done. By an unexpected visit, Jack's clique takes Piggy's glasses. Ralph's group heads to Jack's camp, and in the mess of things, Piggy dives to a rolling boulder, taking the conch with him. Ralph then takes cover in the forest. Suddenly, Jack's group lights the whole forest on fire. Ralph is then forced to the beach. Tired and exhausted, a naval officer appears. When Jack's group arrives to the scene, the officer asks about the whole situation. All the boys start to bawl, leaving the naval officer to take them off the island. The broad theme of the novel is the struggle between good and evil. The two main characters, Ralph and Jack, symbolize good and evil, which more specifically represent civilization and savagery. Ralph, the protagonist, tries to maintain the order of the boys on the island. However, it is not long before the antagonist, Jack, leads the boys into chaos. Golding is basing this compelling theme off of his opinion that people naturally act savagely and selfishly. So when you take the boundaries off of society, humans will turn to their primary instincts of being cruel and evil. This is supported by Jack's actions when he began to dance and his laughter became a bloodthirst snarling. When the boys first got to the island, they were proper civilized boys in desperation for rescue and civilization. However, they evolve into ferocious hunters in desperation for survival rather than rescue. The next quote supporting our theme is when Roger picked up a stone, aimed, and threw it at Henry. Now as you can see, Ralph's first intentions of staying on task diminishes as the boys start to fiend for themselves. Our first symbol is the conch shell. This is what brings the group of boys together in the beginning of the novel. It also represents civilization. It also controls the boys. When Jack loses the election to Ralph, he does not destroy the conch shell, keeping the society civil. But once the conch is destroyed later on, there is no more power, and it is free to take upon anyone. When the conch is broken, Jack feels more in control. Our second symbol is the signal fire. This symbolizes the hope of rescue. When Jack lets the signal fire go out in order to hunt, it shows that his self-interests are higher than the majority interests. When there's no fire, the group of boys feel abandoned and lost from society. This fire also shows the strength of the boys. At the end of the novel, it's a fire that does save them, but not the civilized one. William Golding's writing style in Lord of the Flies can be described as very detailed, using symbolism, imagery, and allegory. He uses a third-person omniscient point of view, and his novel represents his feelings about the evil aspects of the world and humanity after being a part of World War II. He believes no one is innocent, which is evident throughout Lord of the Flies. Golding is able to paint a very lifelike picture through his uses of visual imagery. An example of his descriptive writing is shown when he wrote, "This day promised, like the others, to be a sunbath under a blue dome. The beach stretched away before them in a gentle curve till perspective drew it into one with the forest. For the day was not advanced enough to be obscured by the shifting veils of mirage." He is very expressive when describing the scenery and characters. However, he leaves the majority of the novel up for interpretation. He uses a simple language to convey a deeper meaning. So after all these wacky symbols by William Golding, we can conclude that everyone is a savage. Yes, you in the corner, savage. Yarn, savage.